Welcome. How you doing, everybody? This is PJ, and welcome to my channel, PJ Talks, where we talk about whatever we feel like it. So, first topic of discussion tonight, or the only topic of discussion tonight, is 2020. What the hell is going on? It almost feels like 2020 was like some kind of bad TV show that nobody watched, and all of a sudden they started putting some ridiculous ass plots to make us watch. And guess what, 2020? You got us. You got our attention right now. So here we go. Anyways, guys, thank you for clicking on my channel, clicking on my video. If you can share this, subscribe, do all that stuff, because apparently that shit works. I'll keep my cursing to low, because I'm not for kids, but I would rather keep it fresh, so like that people can listen to it and not have to bleep out, or lower it, keep it low in case where they might be. I'm not saying that everybody listens to me, but I'm just saying that's my goal. So anyway, if you could just hit the like button, subscribe, share it to other people that you want to show this to. So yeah, the weekend just passed where Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. For those of you who don't know, she's a Supreme Court Justice judge. There's 9 of them, and now there's 8 because she just passed away, obviously. And now 2020 is wrapped up again in riots, people talking about burning shit down, and that shit's not cool. So, I mean, the definition of terrorism is politically, if I don't get what I want, I'll hurt you. That's what the definition is. And it's like, these people are all over Twitter saying all that stuff, and it's like, yo, what's going on, right? So anyway, I was having a conversation today with one of my buddies, and he's not into politics. I mean, I'm not into politics like that either, but I keep up to date. I keep on what's going on. Not that I want to make this a politics show, because it's not, but this is the first thing I want to talk about. So I was talking to him, and he's not into politics. He's like, his politic IQ level is not on the average. Like, he doesn't care at all, right? But it goes to show you how all of this is trending, that even he was talking to me and he felt like, yo, this is so messed up. I'm not gonna use the actual words, but he said it's messed up. He said it's crazy the way things are going. You got Joe Biden accepting interviews from Cardi B, and it's like, even he saw that interview and he was just like, what is going on? None of these two know what to say. None of these two are making any sense. And I found it funny. I found it intriguing, interesting that he's like not into any kind of politics at all. I mean, you can tell him about what kind of stand you're on, and he will probably just, for whatever, just for, messing around, he'll stand on the opposite side, but not because he believes in any side. He just does it just to engage in a conversation or debate or an argument or whatever he wants to do, because he's that kind of a guy. And I gotta admit, I'm that kind of guy too. I like to stir the pot, and I'll do it just to get an argument, just to get a good discussion out of something. I'm not afraid to not touch any subject. I've always been like that. Before, when I was younger, I used to do it just to kind of just to mess with people, but on purpose, but be like disrespectful on purpose, and depending on who it was, I would either be disrespectful in a nice little jab kind of way, a little playful kind of way, or I'll be disrespectful. I'll go and throw, if you're part of a religion, I'll come and I'll throw whatever I heard at the moment, or some other part of, and I'll just come back at you, and I'll just tell you probably the most offensive thing I could think of for your type of religion or whatever your belief is, just to get that interaction with you, right? Just to get that rise out of you. You know, now people call it trolling on online and stuff, but the way it happens online is just people, a whole bunch of people bashing on one particular person, and you know, it's not the same thing. When you do it in person to somebody, it's like, oh, you do it to them, they know who you are, you know who they are, they see you, you see them. That interaction is different. It's way different when you try to troll somebody in face to face, because of the fact that once you do that, you either spark up a conversation or an argument. And either way, both sides, you can kind of get both of them. You can get perspective of both sides. Is what I meant. But you might also get into a fight, right? But at least before the fight occurs, or you know, the insults, or people get really emotional, before all of that, at least you'll get an insight of their points, you know, what points they're trying to make before everything blows up, and you get a look at their perspective. So, like I was saying, I was talking to him today, and he was just like amazed about how crazy this is all going, and the fact that you got Joe Biden playing a Spanish song to Spanish heritage press conference or whatever it was, right? He was doing an event for Spanish Heritage Month, excuse me, and it was like the first thing you want to do, and it's all I gotta say is that, you know, and it's like, so anyway, I don't want to get too much into that because, you know, I might stutter my words, and you know, I don't want to get this video pulled down or anything because of fact checking me and stuff like that. So, but it was interesting, you know, a person that's not really into the pulse of politics. He's already on he's like pushing towards the other side. He's getting away from that other side, you know. He's going to the big T, and you know, I mean, it is what it is at this point. You know, a lot of people, for whatever reason, they can't stand the president, and I get why sometimes, but like I said, like I'm a troller, like I'm a person that trolls people face to face. So when I see the president, he's kind of the same way. He's kind of like that. If you ever worked in a construction, right, job, you got guys from all types of backgrounds, and the one thing that they all probably have in common is giving shit to each other. You know, they can give it, they can take it, and it's just that back and forth camaraderie. He displays that. And also, he's a salesman, so he's probably got that charming side. You know, he's trying to persuade people and stuff like that. But to me, when I see him, I see like a contractor on a job site. You know, he's just coming around, he busting your balls and this and that. It's cool, man. You know, it's all right. So I get most of the people's feeling on the president, but at the same time, like when they take it way too left, and it's like, what? I don't see what they see, especially when they say the R words, or the he's a supremacist, you know, of that color. And it's like, again, for those of you who find this annoying, I'm just talking, and I'm trying to watch how I talk. You know, I'll probably get better at this through the videos, but I just don't want to get any red flags on this video. You know, most likely I already probably said a couple words that they're like, oh, we gotta check this. This doesn't stand with what really happened. Even though it's my opinion. But anyway, let's move on. So again, this is my attempt at my little corner, talking to you guys about shit that I want to talk about. And so I was on Instagram earlier, and I was watching this human trafficking video, and it was scary, man. It's like a water tanker somewhere in Iraq, I think the video said, and it was like the Iraq police or army, whatever is control over there, I had stopped the tanker, and they took out kids. You know, like they opened it up, and there was a whole bunch of kids inside, They were screaming and crying. They're dehydrated. Imagine just being in the tanker in the sun. So it's a scary thought. And I'm watching it, it's breaking my heart. It's like I got my kids with me, right? Like I got my sons, I got my daughters, and just thinking about them having a rough kind of just a rough experience. It's enough to get me to be like, wow, nah, chill. And here I'm looking at this video. It's breaking my heart because it's like you can never, as a parent, you would never want to think of your child in that predicament. And it just sucks, man. So that's another reason why I think people should give the president a chance, because there's a lot of trafficking rings and a lot of all that stuff that they're getting broken up, and people are missing it. That they're not being reported on a mainstream level. They are on a local level. So I think the last camp they broke out was in Georgia. So yeah, if you don't know about that, look it up. Definitely everything I'm talking about, look it up. Fact check my opinions, basically. If you're watching this, it's obviously because you're interested in what's going on. Fact check it. Everything I'm bringing up, just type it into the Google and find it for yourself. I'm not gonna say it perfectly written word for word the way it is, but you'll see what I'm talking about, and you can read it your own and come to your own conclusions, which is what everybody should be doing. I don't understand how everybody can just think they can watch one news source and formulate some kind of an opinion of that one news source. Like, you have to go through news source A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Go all the way through the alphabet. Go on the internet. There's a lot of people that are doing what I'm doing, but there's people that are doing it on a news source base, right? On a news source basis. They're actually news people reading the news to you. The one guy I like to watch, and I highly recommend, his name is Tim Pool. He's got Tim Cass on YouTube, I think. And he's a pretty legit guy, man. Like, he talks fast. He's like a Ben Shapiro kind of a guy. But he's all about the news. He'll read the news to you. He'll give you his opinion. Obviously, he'll be careful with his words as well, because he's trying to avoid giving any kind of reason to anybody to shut him down, especially since he's hit like 1 million followers recently. So he's really he watches where he steps, basically. Excuse me. But he's a really good news source guy. Joe Rogan is a shit talker. He's just on there having fun, having good conversations. He's a place I like to go whenever he has anybody. Like, he's the kind of guy that you can sit down and listen to, because he's like a regular dude. But then he has all these PhD level people, scientists, virologists, athletes. He's having just straight up regular conversations with these people, and with his knowledge, with the stuff that he's read and other people he's interviewed, and he's probably interviewed the same person a couple times, so he kind of knows how to navigate the conversation. He's another guy to listen to. I highly recommend just listening to people. It goes back to the roots of when my mom, raising me. She would tell me and my brother, like, whenever we had to be careful with what we were doing or who we were hanging with, she would always say, "El diablo es más diablo por viejo que por diablo." I think that's how it goes. I probably butchered the shit out of that, but basically in English it means the devil is the devil because of his age, right? Because of how old he is, and not because he's just the devil. So she would always say that to us, be like, "Oh, Mom, come on, you freaking out, whatever." But as time went on, basically, it's, wisdom. As you get older, you earn wisdom. You learn a couple new things, and you kind of put it into your brain, and you kind of save it, and you use your past experiences to determine the future or future outcomes. And so she would always say that to us, and basically it's you see it in fruition as you get older. You start realizing, you start seeing certain people that might act shady, and with your past experiences you already know where it's coming from. You can kind of dodge it, you can kind of maneuver. Especially, I mean, sometimes you might maneuver around it knowing that it's shady, but still step in it just because you're interested in how far you can go. Which is, hey, listen, to each his own, right? I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I've done it myself, and every time I do it, I just look in the mirror and it's like, you fool me once, shame on me. I mean, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's basically what you end up saying every time you maneuver the bullshit and you step in it. You just gotta own it, man. That's the way I see it. I don't get upset anymore. I get stressed, right? I get stressed out, but I just let it. I try to let it all kind of just fall and roll off my back, man. Just roll it off my back. I've been through too much, right? So, segueing into that, in 2012, right? I'm gonna get right into this. In 2012, I was a victim to an accident, right? Now, I can't tell you much about the accident because I just don't remember, and I don't want to bring up any kind of old case or anything like that. So let's just say I was in an accident with my motorcycle. I ended up in the hospital. A couple of weeks went by. I was in a coma, and they had to use the defibrillator on me twice within those weeks. And there was one point where I became septic, and it's kind of tough to talk about because I later learned all this stuff, and you start really thinking about I was in my final moments, and it's tough. It's tough to think about it, but at the same time, it's not tough. Like, it's tough because I get emotional, right? I start thinking about it, and I start thinking about my kids and how my youngest wouldn't be here, how my son would have to grow up without me, how my daughters, how would they fare to be without me as well, and so I was septic at one point, and my mom tells me this story all the time, and it's like the doctor came up to her and he started telling her stories about, I guess other stories of other experiences he had with other people, and she says it that she felt that he was coaching her to, like, getting her ready to receive the bad news, like the final bad news, like. And so she broke down. She headed home, and she tells me, she prayed or whatever that night. And then the next day, she gets a phone call. Mind you, she's already thinking the worst. She knows they're preparing her for the worst. And so she answers the phone, barely speaking. This is her experience. I hope maybe one day I'll have her on just to kind of speak about it. I know it'll be tough. I'm pretty sure she probably will not want to do it, but so she tells me how she was she could barely speak, and as soon as she was able to say hello, they told her that I was good, and I opened my eyes the next morning. So imagine her relief. It's basically, I could sit here and tell you that it was a miracle, but I mean, if I tell you how I feel, I don't feel it as a miracle. I mean, I had my experiences. I experienced something for sure. I saw my grandfather, may he rest in peace, and he kind of just I think it was within those times, and I just remember seeing him and he was just hanging out like he usually does, used to, or whatever, in Puerto Rico. And he smacked me up because growing up, my grandfather used to kind of just grab my ears and torture us as kids and stuff. Just kind of play with our ears and kind of hurt us little by little. But that was the way he showed love and laugh. And so I had the similar experience where he grabbed me by my face, he smacked me, he told me it was all good. He was like, not yet, like you ain't ready. And it's like, it was almost like he pushed me back into the world. And I woke up, and I mean, I don't remember anything. For what they tell me, I was up all morning because I also had tubes inside my mouth. Pause. Let me say pause. Shit, you can't say that no more. Pause. Right? Like, I had breathing tubes, and I don't remember anything of that morning. From where I remember, where my memory starts, is when the breathing tubes were pulled out. Pause. And I spit out all, like, I was throwing up a little bit, like basically all the water stuff. And from then on is when my memory starts. So, man, I've been through a lot. I'm not sitting here bragging about it. Like, I wish I didn't go through any of the stuff I go through. I wish I didn't go through any of the stuff I'm going through now. Like, as a result of that as well, like, after like 2 weeks after that, I got an infection on my leg, and I became an amputee. So, it's been a tough ride. It's been a tough accommodation, but it's all learning experience. Like, I don't look at it like I feel sympathy for myself. Like, if anything, I look at myself and I'm like, yo, stop being a bitch. Get your ass up. Go do what you gotta do. And just stop whining about it. Just do it. Just do it. That's like, if I ever give myself if I start complaining, or I start feeling sorry for myself, start feeling upset, just like, yo, just go do it. Just go do Chad, shut up. Just go do it. Just go do it. Just go do it. So, that's the way I see things, man. So a lot of people, if you see me on Instagram, and like, I'm the way, like, I'm blunt to a point, right? Because that's how we grew up, right? I'm in my 30s. I remember growing up, it was all about being blunt, being real. Like, if you don't like it, it's hardcore. Oh well, you can't handle the heat, get out the kitchen, right? I ain't for no fakers. And then social media came around, and then you saw the guys that wanted to be the pretenders, wanted to be the fakers, and they would get they would get paycheck, get it cashed, show it all up in one picture, and then after that, they would to pay their bills and stuff like that. Or the best one was the tax return people, right? Tax returns come, they get a whole bunch of money, they flaunt it on Instagram, or, well, at that point, Facebook, and they'll flaunt it and show it, and then maybe have a couple videos for the weekend because they were into the club, to the bar, strip club, whatever it may be, and then you didn't see no more of those posts until they got paid again. Or, right, they say they had their money, where they would just, for the picture, maybe go to the bar one time and post videos all weekend of the same spot, but like if they've been there all weekend. So, growing up, you see that and you used to make fun of it, and now we live in a time where it's like, that's all people care about. Everybody loves the fake stuff, the fakeness. Everybody wants to be in the fakeness, so they post up on stuff now where it's fake. Excuse me. And I never understood that. And it's like, why? Why are you feeling like that? So, I grew up in that time. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, you guys that are watching this are, same age as me. And if you're not, if you're younger, then man, listen, you guys don't know what real is. I'm pretty sure most of y'all know, but it's a lot of people that just that's a good way to put it. They entertain the fakeness. And it's like everything you see on the internet is not the world. You know what I mean? It's not. That's a bubble. People that focus on social media or the internet, that's a bubble, right? Yeah, the internet is a good way to get knowledge and learn different shit, watch different things, see different things and people and experiences and hardships and good times and bad times and sad times. But it's not the world. If you're on the internet, you can get a heavy dose of everything. You can get a heavy dose of puppies. You could get a heavy dose of shootouts, a heavy dose of killings, murders, fun times. But there's a lot of that too. And if you focus on somebody else's happiness and somebody else's way of having a good time, and instead of you trying to go out and having yourself a good time, you're gonna feel sad because you're gonna feel like you can't do what they do. You gotta live through those experiences, which at the end of the day, that's how those people get their views. That's why those people, after a certain time, they got mansions, they got in-ground pools, infinity pools, big ass houses, brand new cars. Oh, I'm able to get my baby a brand new Bentley for her birthday. Because why? Because of the views that they get, the commercials that they star in. To be fair, a lot of those people, they hustle, and they'll start making deals over here and over there and start singing out of nowhere, and all of a sudden have a number one hit or a single, and they promote it, and you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, it starts with you guys out there watching this stuff. You give them the ratings, you give them the views that other companies see. Other companies see, and then they pay them because they know that the eyeballs are going. So anyways, guys, so as I was talking about the other YouTube people just now, my camera just kind of lost its batteries and it died on me. So let's end it like this. I'm sorry. I know it's my first time, so my little rig setup here I got here, like, if you guys see the mess I have behind this, you would not believe that I'm actually trying to do this. But I'm trying to build this up, and I hope you guys enjoyed my talk. I mean, just me sitting here talking. No, it doesn't mean I got nobody to talk to, because my kids talk a lot. I mean, they're just like me. They love to talk, and I encourage it, because growing up, I didn't really have that. In the society the environment that I grew up in, it was all about, like, you had to know things. If you didn't know, then you were behind the eight ball, or you should try new experiences to know what a lot of the cool kids knew. And it was a lot of what the cool kids were into was, my mom would kick my ass if she found out I ever did anything like that. So again, I know I spoke about, like, the fakeness and stuff on social media today, but yeah, that's how back in the day, if you weren't about it, then you shouldn't say that you're about it, because then that will make you a fake. So again, I thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys have a good one. All right. Hopefully, like I said, this is my first video. Hope you enjoyed it. Share it, like, subscribe, and help me help my kids, because this goes well, I can be able to do more for them. So again, hope you guys enjoy what I talked about, and have a good one. Take it easy, guys.